Hey there, fellow Earthlings! Welcome to a story where technology, money, and a dash of internet chaos collide. Today we're diving into the wild world of cryptocurrency, and at the center of it all is a man who needs no introduction. But we'll give him one anyway. You know Elon Musk, right? The guy who's basically a real-life Tony Stark, always in the headlines, always pushing the boundaries of what's possible. He's the CEO of Tesla, the mastermind behind SpaceX, and the self-proclaimed techno-king of Tesla. But that's just scratching the surface. This is the guy with rockets that touch the stars, electric cars that drive themselves, and dreams so big they include building a city on Mars. He's not just changing how we drive or travel, he's changing how we think about the future itself. Yeah, that guy. Well, buckle up, because he's also decided to shake up the world of cryptocurrency. And when Elon Musk steps into a new arena, you can bet things are about to get interesting, maybe even a little bit wild. You see, when Elon talks, people listen, and wallets tremble. His tweets can send shockwaves through the financial world, making fortunes or wiping them out in seconds. It's almost like he has a magic wand that controls the fate of digital currencies. Now, Musk is a big deal in the tech world, but he's also become a bit of a crypto kingmaker. One tweet from him, and the market goes on a roller coaster ride. Whatever he tweets about can send prices soaring or plummeting faster than a SpaceX rocket. One moment, Bitcoin is reaching for the moon, the next, it's crashing back to Earth. Investors hang on his every word, and the crypto community watches his Twitter feed like it's the stock ticker of the future. But lately, he's been throwing some serious shade at Bitcoin, the biggest cryptocurrency out there. Why? Well, according to Elon, it all boils down to one word: energy. He's raised concerns that Bitcoin's massive energy consumption is at odds with the green future he's trying to build. You see, Bitcoin uses a ton of electricity to run its network. We're talking about enough power to light up a small country. All those computers solving complex puzzles to keep the Bitcoin network secure? They're burning through energy at an astonishing rate, and most of it isn't exactly coming from wind or solar. In fact, some estimates say Bitcoin's annual energy use rivals that of entire nations like Argentina or the Netherlands. That's a lot of carbon emissions for a digital currency that's supposed to be the money of the future. And for someone like Musk, who's built his reputation on clean energy and sustainability, that's a big problem. And Musk, the eco-warrior with his electric cars and solar panels, isn't too happy about that. He's spent years convincing the world to ditch fossil fuels, to embrace renewable energy, and to think about the planet's future. So when he sees Bitcoin guzzling electricity, it's no surprise he's raising an eyebrow, or two. For Musk, it's not just about making money or being a tech celebrity. It's about leading a movement toward a cleaner, greener world. He wants technology to solve problems, not create new ones. And that's why his criticism of Bitcoin has hit the crypto world so hard. So, what's the real story behind Elon Musk's Bitcoin beef? Is he a crypto crusader fighting for a greener future, or just a tech titan playing games with the market? Is he genuinely concerned about the planet, or is there something else going on behind those cryptic tweets and meme-filled posts? Some say Musk is using his influence to push the crypto industry toward cleaner energy. Others think he's just having fun, stirring the pot and watching the chaos unfold. Whatever the truth, one thing's for sure. When Elon Musk speaks, the world pays attention, and the crypto world holds its breath. So let's dive in and find out what's really going on. Is this the start of a new era for cryptocurrency, or just another wild ride on the Musk roller coaster? Buckle up, because the Techno King is taking on Bitcoin, and the story is just getting started. To really get why Elon Musk has such a complicated relationship with Bitcoin, you first have to look at what Tesla stands for. Tesla isn't just another car company trying to make a profit or sell the latest tech gadget on wheels. For Musk, Tesla is a mission, a vision for a cleaner, greener future. It's his way of tackling one of the biggest challenges facing humanity: climate change. Every decision Tesla makes, from the design of their vehicles to the way they power their factories, is supposed to move us closer to a world where sustainable energy is the norm, not the exception. See, Tesla isn't just about making cool electric cars, it's about fighting climate change. The company's entire brand is built around the idea of reducing our dependence on fossil fuels. When you see a Tesla gliding silently down the road, you're not just looking at a luxury vehicle, you're seeing a symbol of hope for a planet in crisis. Tesla's charging stations are often powered by solar panels, and the company invests heavily in battery technology and renewable energy solutions. It's all about shrinking our carbon footprint and proving that you don't have to sacrifice style or performance to do what's right for the environment. They're all about sustainable energy, reducing our carbon footprint, and basically saving the planet, you know? Tesla's vision extends beyond just cars. It's about creating an entire ecosystem where homes, businesses, and vehicles all run on clean, renewable power. Imagine a world where your house is powered by the sun, your car charges overnight from your own solar panels, and the air you breathe is just a little bit cleaner every day. That's the future Tesla is chasing, and it's a future that a lot of people are rooting for. But here's where things get interesting. While Tesla is pushing the boundaries of green technology, Bitcoin is making headlines for a very different reason: its massive energy consumption. Bitcoin, the world's most famous cryptocurrency, has a reputation for being a digital gold rush. But it comes with a hefty environmental price tag. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is a bit of an energy hog. Unlike traditional currencies, which are managed by banks and governments, Bitcoin relies on a decentralized network of computers to keep things running smoothly. This network is what makes Bitcoin so revolutionary, but it's also what makes it so power-hungry. It uses a process called mining to verify transactions, and it requires a crazy amount of computing power. These aren't just your average laptops or desktops either. We're talking about specialized machines, stacked in massive warehouses, all racing to solve complex puzzles as fast as possible. The faster you solve the puzzle, the more Bitcoin you earn. It's a high-stakes game that never stops. Think of it like solving a super complex math problem, but instead of using your brain, you're using thousands of computers running 24/7. These machines are constantly churning through data, burning through electricity at an astonishing rate. The more people who want to mine Bitcoin, the harder the puzzles get, and the more energy the whole system needs. All that computing guzzles down electricity like it's going out of style. In fact, some estimates say that the Bitcoin network uses more electricity than entire countries. That's a staggering amount of power just to keep a digital currency running. And a lot of that energy comes from non-renewable sources, which means more carbon emissions and more strain on the planet. So, you've got Tesla, the eco-warrior, and Bitcoin, the energy glutton. Not exactly a match made in heaven, right? It's almost ironic. On one hand, you have a company that's trying to save the world, and on the other, a technology that's being criticized for potentially harming it. The tension between these two worlds was bound to come to a head. For Musk, this wasn't just a minor inconvenience, it was a fundamental clash of values. How could Tesla, a company built on the promise of sustainability, support a currency that was being called out for its environmental impact? The contradiction was too big to ignore, and Musk knew he had to take a stand. Musk saw this clash of ideals and decided he couldn't stay silent. He's never been one to shy away from controversy, and this was no exception. He started tweeting about Bitcoin's energy use, sparking debates across the internet, and putting the spotlight on an issue that many in the crypto world had been trying to downplay. He even went as far as stopping Tesla from accepting Bitcoin as payment, which shocked the crypto world. Just months earlier, Tesla had made headlines for accepting Bitcoin, and now, Musk was pulling the plug. The announcement sent shockwaves through the market, causing Bitcoin's price to tumble, and leaving investors scrambling for answers. It was like watching a superhero break up with his sidekick. The partnership had seemed so promising, but in the end their differences were just too big to ignore. Musk's decision was a bold statement about where he stands on the environment, and it forced everyone to rethink the relationship between technology and sustainability. People were confused, prices went haywire, and everyone was left wondering, what's next for Bitcoin and the future of crypto? The clash between Tesla and Bitcoin wasn't just about business, it was about the bigger question of how we balance innovation with responsibility. As the dust settled, one thing was clear: the world was watching, and the conversation about energy, technology, and our planet was just getting started. Now, hold your horses, space cowboys. Before we brand Bitcoin as the environmental villain, let's hear the other side of the story. See, the crypto community isn't just a bunch of energy-guzzling supervillains. Well, maybe some are, but that's another story. They argue that Bitcoin mining is getting greener by the day. Many miners are switching to renewable energy sources like solar and wind power. In fact, some studies suggest that Bitcoin mining is actually incentivizing the growth of renewable energy. Who knew, right? Critics also point out that traditional financial systems, with their banks and endless paperwork, aren't exactly eco-friendly either. They use a ton of energy too, from running massive data centers to printing all those credit card statements nobody reads. So, is Bitcoin really the bad guy here, or is it just an easy target for Musk's environmental crusade? Okay, so Musk isn't a fan of Bitcoin's energy consumption. In fact, he's been pretty vocal about it. For someone who's made it his mission to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy, it's no surprise that the massive electricity demands of Bitcoin mining don't exactly sit well with him. Musk has tweeted concerns about how Bitcoin's proof-of-work system relies on huge amounts of fossil fuel-generated power, which, in his eyes, kind of defeats the purpose of a futuristic digital currency. He's even gone so far as to suspend Tesla's acceptance of Bitcoin payments, citing environmental worries. But that doesn't mean he's anti-crypto altogether. So what about other cryptocurrencies? The crypto universe is massive, with thousands of coins and tokens, each promising something new. Some, like Ethereum, are working on greener solutions, while others are just plain weird. But among all these digital coins, there's one that's managed to capture Musk's imagination. And, honestly, the world's attention too. That's right, there's one in particular that seems to have caught his eye. And it's about as serious as a meme can get. Enter Dogecoin. If you've spent any time on the internet, you've probably seen the iconic Shiba Inu dog, looking quizzically at the camera, surrounded by Comic Sans text. That's the face of Dogecoin, a cryptocurrency that started as a joke but somehow became a global phenomenon, thanks in no small part to Musk's tweets and memes. You know, that cryptocurrency that started as a joke with the cute Shiba Inu dog as its mascot? Yeah, that one. Dogecoin was literally created in 2013 to poke fun at the wild world of crypto speculation. Its creators never expected it to be taken seriously. But the internet has a way of turning jokes into reality, and Dogecoin's lighthearted vibe made it the perfect candidate for viral fame. It's fun, it's friendly, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. Qualities that seem to resonate with Musk's own playful approach to technology and business. Musk seems to have a soft spot for the Doge, calling it the people's crypto, and even promising to put a literal Dogecoin on the literal moon. He's tweeted about it, joked about it on Saturday Night Live, and even sent Dogecoin's price soaring with just a single word. But why Dogecoin? Why not one of the more serious cryptocurrencies out there? Well, for one, it's much less energy intensive than Bitcoin. Unlike Bitcoin's proof-of-work system, Dogecoin uses a different algorithm called Script, which is far less demanding on hardware and electricity. This means that mining Dogecoin doesn't require massive server farms or the same level of energy consumption, making it a greener alternative in Musk's eyes. It uses a different technology that requires significantly less computing power, meaning it's easier on the environment. For someone as passionate about sustainability as Musk, that's a big deal. Plus, Dogecoin's transaction fees are lower and its network is faster, making it more practical for everyday use, at least in theory. And let's be honest, it's hard to take a cryptocurrency with a dog meme as its logo too seriously. But maybe that's the point. Dogecoin's charm is that it doesn't pretend to be the next big thing in finance. It's approachable, it's fun, and it's got a community that thrives on positivity and good vibes. In a world where crypto can get a little too intense, Dogecoin is a breath of fresh air. And maybe that's exactly what Musk likes about it. In a landscape full of high-stakes investments and technical jargon, Dogecoin stands out as a reminder that sometimes it's okay to have a little fun with technology. For Musk, who's always looking to shake things up and challenge the status quo, Dogecoin is the perfect blend of innovation, humor, and accessibility. Whether he's serious about sending it to the moon or just enjoying the ride, one thing's for sure, Musk's crypto crush is here to stay.